Welcome. Today we are looking at understanding leadership styles. So, styles of leadership in the community. We have different approaches. So, leadership styles are various ways to lead and motivate people. We have different ways of leading and motivating people. So it is good you evaluate, as a person, you evaluate and understand your own leadership type. And you also have to be very flexible, because a particular leadership style will work well in a different situation. You are not going to use only one leadership style always as a leader. You're supposed to be very flexible. If you use a particular leadership style depending on the situation, so you should be flexible. And then you should also be goal oriented. So the right style helps guide team members towards their goals effectively. So that is how you know which type of leadership style that you're going to use. Then we have activity 2 here. Let us look at it. And it's group work. Study the case study below. Do the tasks that follow. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's democratic leadership brought hope and progress in Liberia. As Africa's first democratically elected female and head of state, she led Liberia through reconciliation and recovery following the country's decade-long civil war. By collaborating with different partners, she established the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to fight corruption and implemented judicial reforms to ensure justice and accountability. Her economic reforms attracted foreign investment and rebuilt infrastructure, while her public health initiatives, especially during the Ebola crisis, saved countless lives. Sirleaf's dedication to engaging diverse groups in decision making, including the women and marginalized communities, opened doors for many, inspiring a new generation of leaders. Her tireless efforts for peace and women's rights earned her Nobel Prize in 2011. Question 1. How did Ellen Johnson Sirleaf transform a country? So number 1 is peace building. She helped her country recover after a long civil war. 2. Fixing systems. She improved the courts and started a group to stop corruption. 3. Rebuilding. She brought in money from other countries to fix roads and buildings. 4. Saving lives. Her health programs helped people during Ebola crisis. And then number 5, including everyone. She made sure women and other groups had a say in decisions. 2. From the case study above, what does democratic leadership entail? So based on this study, democratic leadership has 4 ways. Number 1 is working together. That is collaborating with many different partners. 2, including others. Making sure diverse groups like women are involved. 3, being fair. Being fair here we mean using rules and laws to make sure leaders are held accountable. And 4 is listening. Taking time to hear what different people need before deciding. Question 3. Name other democratic leaders. Give reasons for your responses. Another democratic leader is Nelson Mandela. He worked with both friends and enemies to build a fair South Africa for everyone. Another leader is Barack Obama. He encouraged people to participate in government and share their opinions. And then we also have Jacinda Ardern. She was known for listening to the public and experts during difficult times. Number 4, how can you apply democratic leadership when conducting a CSL activity? Number 1 is group talk. You ask everyone in your group for their ideas before starting the project. That is number 1, group talk. Number 2 is fair tasks. You give every person a job so that everyone feels important. 3, vote on plans. If the group can't agree, have a vote to see what most people want. 4, be honest. Explain why certain decisions were made so the whole team understands. From there, we go to the learning spot. And here you're being asked, what is a democratic leadership? So number 1, it involves group input. That means everyone in the team gets a chance to share the ideas. Number 2, there is openness. Leaders are honest about why they are making decisions. So they are honest about why they are making certain decisions. Number 3, there is accountability. Leaders must, in democratic leadership, must explain their choices to the rest of the group. Number 4, there is fairness. Every person is treated the same and has equal chance and help. Equal chance to help. And then number 4, there is agreement. The goal is to make decisions that most people are happy with. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Let me know also what video I'm going to do tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.